Everybody. It's our last live Friday show of the year because we're tired and we want to enjoy the holidays. And I'm sure all of you guys are tired too, tired of shopping and shipping. It's like you're tired of it, but you're not tired of it, right? Because we see our paychecks growing and growing in the Amazon app, and I know we all like that. I wish I could be this busy merchant fulfilling all year long. I don't know about all of you, but I sure do. And today we are also going to do a little bit shorter of a live. We're going to go over the end of the year reports you guys will need to be running when December 31st hits. You could do it January 1st or 2nd, but these are going to be the reports and the numbers that you'll want to be giving your CPA, and you're going to want to enjoy looking at, or some years cry looking at them. If your sales have gone down to where you don't like. But anyway, with that being said, thank you for joining us on this Friday at the end of Q4. And we're so happy that you're here. Good morning, Lucy. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Good morning, Money Mom and Nate and Reno in there as well. So we wanted to address this first because I know a lot of people are going to be asking, what reports do I need? What reports do I need? And the short answer is there's a few that help out. There's several that most of us pull, and there's some that you have to pull, and then there's some that you're going to want to pull. So for tax purposes, one of the questions your CPA or your TurboTax or whoever does your taxes on a small business is going to ask for, if you do accrual-based accounting, and maybe it's in there for non-accrual-based accounting too. We're not CPAs. I just know this is the report I need to grab. So we wanted to go over that. And if Brandy had asked if it has changed, and I'm like, I don't think it has, but there's a few things you can do. And what they want to know, the powers that be, is what is your end of the year inventory on hand worth? So if you start the year and you've bought 500 units of stuff, and then you've sold 200 units, and then you bought 500 more, and then you sold 300, and at the end of the year you have whatever 200 units of whatever left, and it would cost you $3 a piece, what is the total value of your inventory left on hand? Now, to get that, you can do that many different ways. There's a lot of different ways. I have in the past put it into an Excel sheet. I have, for my eBay inventory, I have an inventory ledger that I do every month for my bookkeepers. If you have Inventory Lab, this is really easy. You just go to Inventory Lab and you're like, what was my value of my FBA inventory? Because you've put your cost of goods as you've gone throughout the years into Inventory Lab. So it can say you bought 10 coffee mugs, there's 5 left, and you paid $5 a piece. So you have $25 worth of that ASIN, and then total you have X dollars worth. Good morning, Hustle and Grow. We'll get to your question today. Thank you. So I wanted to kind of address the Amazon part of it because that's what most of us do. So if you are running Seller Board or Inventory Lab, go there. They pull it. It's nice and easy. You don't have to do a bunch of calculations. Let's say you are newer and you don't have Seller Board or Inventory Lab, and maybe you only have a handful of ASINs. You need to see how much does Amazon have at the end of the year. Then you're going to have to go find those cost of goods and do a quick calculation. So now I put together some slides to share on here. Let me go here, present, share screen.
Just so you guys know, when you're in Inventory Lab, I'll have to log into mine, but I believe you hover over reports, and then
I got it. That's what I'm doing.
Sorry. I'll keep my mouth shut.
That's what I said I was pulling, Tina. So yeah, you hover over reports and fulfillment. And then when you get to this page, you have all of these reports. And the one that works for me, or worked for purposes of this video, was FBA inventory. And then it's going to pull into a Excel file. And if you don't have Excel, download it as a text, put it in notes, numbers, whatever. What's the Mac thing?
Numbers.
Okay. So you're going to put it into numbers, put it into a Google, and you're going to see here available, how much you have available, and you'll have to do some Excel calculations. And basically you're going to add a column of cost of goods, and you're going to take the quantity you have times your cost of goods, and then tally it all up. And that is the basic how-to. Did I miss anything there?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Is that what you were going to say?
Pretty much, yeah. I was just going to point out where to get to that inventory valuation tab. That's all.
Oh, on what? Inventory Lab?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Well, I closed it down because I thought you said that's what you were covering, so I closed it. But when you want to know your inventory valuation, I believe it's you hover over reports is where I think it is, and it says inventory valuation is one of the options. But I'm not logged into Inventory Lab now. But if you poke around, for those of you who have Inventory Lab, it's a nice little quick report you can run, and you can toggle for what time period you want to know your inventory valuation. This is something I do monthly. I know I made a video about it for just your monthly bookkeeping, but for the end of the year and you want to know what it is, make sure you're running it just for till December 31st.
It is, I just logged in. It is under reports, inventory valuation. In the upper right-hand corner, you're going to click view, or you're going to click the date. You're going to set it to the last day of the year and then click view. And that's it. I like to stick it into an Excel file of some sort too, because when I'm done with all of my tax stuff, I take all of those Excel files and all the uploaded reports and all the things you're going to do for your taxes and kind of group it together so I don't have to think about it again. That way, if in 3 years I want to get rid of Inventory Lab, I'm not tied to it. Let's see here. Tina, you look extra glowy and beautiful.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
She does. She always looks beautiful. All right. Good morning, ladies. Question. Amazon sent me an email about sending my inventory in with just the barcode. I want to do it, but I wonder what the downside. I saw this go through too, and I saw a thread, and this has been available forever. It's not anything new. It's not a new thing. It is called commingled inventory, and both Tina and I don't care for it. I feel like the only applicable spot that makes sense to have it is, let's say that you made a board game and you're the only seller of that board game. It's your thing, you're brand registered, all of that stuff. And you have a barcode and you want to eventually be in Target, Walmart, whatever, and you want that barcode to be the barcode sent in, and you don't care about commingling because nobody else is going to be selling it. That's about the only time that is decent, in my opinion. Other than that, I don't trust other sellers to pack their stuff up and have it be in a pool to be sold from. Did you?
No, I don't like it for the very same reason, because if it's commingled inventory and they sent in one with a hole and a stain, or they sent in a counterfeit, I don't want their item being sent to my customer and me possibly getting a ding for that. And then as far as this question, April, on how to find inventory that you recall that is unsellable, if you use Inventory Lab, it's easy to do. All things are easier to do in Inventory Lab, but I know some of you don't have it. And in Inventory Lab, it's the same. It's over your tab called Accounting. And it's the very last item there. It's called Disposition Management. And in there, it lists all of your inventory that has been removed. What else? What are the words? I'm still trying to get caffeinated this morning over here.
Hold on. Okay. In Inventory Lab, it's under, there's refunds, reimbursements, other expenses, disposition management.
Yeah, I believe this is, and I'm going off the top of my head, but that's where I believe it's at.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're not in Inventory Lab, it's removal order detail. So this whole page of reports, you can find whatever report you need. It may take some clicking. You may have to download. It took me 3 times to find which Inventory Lab or inventory report to pull, because they keep changing the inventory reports, which is fine. Whatever. Find the inventory report. But I'm telling you, get familiar with this. Go and pull all this stuff. They've got fee previews. They've got all your storage stuff. You can make some of these reports favorites. So I have a couple favorites, so I don't have to go hunt them down again. But removal order detail, it's going to be in there. You'll see what's going on with that. You have a recommended removal report. You've got FBA customer returns and replacements. I was helping somebody the other day and they were like, how do I find out why a customer returned something? Well, you go in here and you pull a return report, and then they'll have the little comments. When you put in your comment, didn't fit, not as described, whatever, that's where you're going to go find them.
And what's interesting is I go, and I'm in my Amazon account right now. For that, I always go down to where it says reports, and then I scroll over the tab or the line item that says fulfillment. It's the third one down, and you can, and then on this page, I click on, hold on a second, because I made this page look different, so it's not as easy to see. There is a button you can push. It's a different way to look at the returns. Oh, under customer concessions, it says FBA customer returns. And you can just look at it right there on Amazon. You can look for the last 365 days, generate report. And it's nothing that you have to download. You can look at it right on Amazon. And I love looking at it that way.
Yeah. So where were you at?
So I'll do the walkthrough for you. Because you're in your account, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I'm looking.
Okay, so obviously the 3 lines, right?
Yeah,
and then I go down to reports. The third one down says fulfillment, and I click on that.
That's what I meant.
Okay, once you click on fulfillment, you go down on the left side menu. It says customer concessions. The top one says FBA customer returns, and you can add that to your favorite reports as well. But then you click on FBA customer returns, and then you can download, but you can also view online. It's the first tab.
Yep. So
and you can even look at it by ASIN, by SKU. You can sort it out however you like.
And because this is going to come up the next month, if you guys are doing safety claims, which happens if somebody's going to return merchant fulfilled items that are like, they have to be the wrong item or something really weird for you to go through and try to win a safety claim. But if you're going to go through and do safety claims, a lot of times this information, you're going to have to hunt for it back in here. You're going to have to go find the return report, find the order numbers, etc., and compile all that data for your case for your safety claim. Because Amazon puts it in all different places and you kind of have to hunt down and figure it out. So Hustle and Grow says, so I could get a negative for someone else's issues. Exactly.
Because if you both did the UPC that you sent in, and I send in a broken item, a coffee cup, and you sent in one nicely bubble wrapped in a cardboard box, and when the customer made the order and they just pulled it from the commingled inventory and they pull mine, you end up getting a negative feedback and review for that broken coffee cup that I sent in. And then maybe I got your nicely bubble wrapped and I get the raving review of how well it was packaged. So to me, it's not worth the risk.
She says, I tried to do a safety claim, got an error because this customer needs to be debited first. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm going to pull how to file a safety claim too, because I know that's going to be the next question. So I can do that here. I wanted to talk about boxes. Somebody brought up shipping merchant fulfilled items, what box to use, and can they use an Amazon box or shouldn't they? And I was surprised that it was pretty consistent that you cannot use Amazon boxes for merchant fulfilled items because it might make the customer think that it's coming from Amazon. I'm like, I did one the other day.
I'm a rule breaker on this. So do as I say, not as I do. You are supposed to send things in plain brown cardboard boxes only for merchant fulfilling or the poly bags. I send things in all kinds of boxes all the time. I send them in Target boxes, Kohl's boxes. I reuse the Amazon boxes. I don't make that my general habit. The majority of my things are in the plain cardboard boxes. However, at this time of year, sometimes I just have that big and odd sized toy, that thing that I just don't have a box for. And look, I got to get these orders out, people. So all of my Amazon journey, I have always done the naughty. I've always reused a Target box, a Kohl's box, like I'm selling on eBay. Knock on wood, y'all, knock on wood. I've never gotten in trouble for it. I probably will now, since I openly admitted it and said I've never gotten in trouble for it. I'm now asking for trouble for just saying it out loud. But I have done this for years. So again, do as I say, not as I do, unless you want to be a risk taker like me.
So Money Mom says, does the TOS say that? The TOS says you need to use a new plain brown box.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it
So
says.
if you're not using a plain new brown box, then it is against terms of service. And we all, dangerous life. Yes, we all do things to just get things done and break the rules. And that's where my issue is with a lot of Facebook comments, because they'll be like, can I ship shoes out in a non-branded box? Yeah. Can you? Sure. I can ship shoes out in a plastic bag. Should I? No. Are you taking a risk? Yes.
And Amazon's terms of service says you can repackage the shoes in a plain brown cardboard box. So you don't have to ship out those shoes in its branded box, but you have to ask yourself, is the customer going to complain about it depending on the brand of shoe? So, just use common sense.
Exactly. And that's it. Any question you have, instead of going to first up, okay, so I'm going to go on my soapbox. If you have a question and you're new to Amazon, go join some of these Facebook groups. There's some amazing groups out there with a ton of information. And there's a search button. So just go to the group and search your question before posting it, because I guarantee you, I have not seen a new question in a very long time. A lot of them are repeated. So you could just go read the last 3 or 4 threads and get your information there. Second, always put yourself in your customer's shoes. If you think your customer is going to complain about it, then don't do it. Or gamble and see what happens. You can send out 100 shoes in plain brown boxes and be fine 99 times. And then it's going to be that one customer that says, oh, these are fake because they came not in a branded box. That fake word is going to trigger Amazon to put a violation on your account. And you're going to have to submit invoices. Now, if you buy from a reputable distributor and you have invoices, that's easy peasy. You can get through that in like 30 seconds. If you're buying from Sierra.com, those don't go through. You cannot win IP claims with a Sierra receipt very well. You have to get a retraction from the customer, or even if you get a retraction from the customer, it still stays on your board. At least it did 2 years ago. So run your risk. If you're making $100 off of each shoes, maybe it's worth it, because my lawyer cost about $400 to fight these things. And that'd be 4 sales of shoes, so do your risk analysis. If you want to get to safety claims, you go orders and manage safety claims. I like that they added it here. It used to be that you had to go to manage orders and then find it through that dashboard. I do not like the new, when you're sending inventory in, the flow through Amazon is quite wonky. If you all run batches through Amazon and not Inventory Lab, I hate it. That's why I love Inventory Lab. Oh, what else? We had other questions today. You put some stuff in the chat for us, right?
Yeah, they were notes, and this is one of the notes. So this is super busy, so I'm going to leave it up here for quite some time. These are some different reports or items that you're going to want to have at the end of the year. One is your 1099K from Amazon. Amazon will have that file in the back end of your account. You're going to get a notice that it's there. It's under, I believe it's under your tax, under settings. And when you scroll down, there's something like tax documents. I know that's also where you upload them, but I believe that's where your 1099 is. It's somewhere back there. You will want your year-end sales report. You will want your year-end expense report. That's what you have spent on items. And hopefully you have some sort of a bookkeeping method where your expenses are categorized, by cost of goods sold, internet service, what else? My brain is so on what do I got to ship after the show?
So
everything you've spent on business, your boxes, your bubble wrap, your tape, right?
Yep.
And then you will also have your year-end cost of goods sold. That's everything you've bought that you intended to sell, all the t-shirts and socks and toys and ornaments and whatever you've bought. And then the year-end inventory valuation, which is what we started this show off with, is what is the value of the inventory that you have left. And then your vehicle expense report. We get to claim things about our vehicles. We use them for business. You drive around to stores to pick up your goods sold. And if you don't get all of your packages picked up, you are dropping them off at the post office, at FedEx. So our vehicles are a deduction for us. If you have bought new items, if you've bought a new computer for your business this year, if you've bought a printer for your business this year, any more expensive items, these have write-off potential. Additionally, before the year is over, when you get these big checks, right? Because we all get two really fat checks at the end of the year from all of our Q4 sales. And of that, if you don't want your business to be, say, as profitable for tax reasons at the end of the year, it's a great time for you to spend some of that money on your business, such as getting that new computer, buying an Amazon course, buying that printer, buying your bubble wrap machine, whatever it is, that your business might need. It is a great time of year to spend money on those things.
Yes. And these are all the things that you're going to need to round up. And again, either TurboTax or your CPA or whoever is going to be asking for these numbers. They want to know how much you spent for the year, what you have left, all the things Tina said. And there's a lot of printables. There's a lot of other videos that go over, like, if you own a business, what can you write off? And when I was working out of the house, because you can't write off an office and a home office. But my husband works at home. So anyhow, we have a different situation. Everybody's situation is going to be different. But if you're writing off the home one, they're going to want to know the square footage that you use for home and what percentage of that is your house. So Tina uses one room for your office there. So hypothetically, let's say Tina's room is 100 square feet and she lives in a 1,000 square foot house. She uses 10% of her house for business. Therefore, she can write off 10% of her power bill or water bill, etc. My cell phone, I say I use it 80% for work. And there's no, like, they just ask for a guesstimation. I don't have any concrete evidence that I use it 80%. It might be 82%, but you have to put something down at the end of the day. And I would get the tape out. I'd go get the blue painter's tape and tape out what's the area that I use for work. And you really want to use that area exclusively for work and not have it commingled the best you can, and map it out and then figure out the square footage of your house or your apartment or wherever you're at, and then do the math there.
Another thing I wanted to bring up, I'll have to find the video, but Mark, I don't know if you say his last name too. I don't know how to say it. It's like T-E-W. He's a CPA. He's It's Not Your Dad's CPA is his YouTube channel. He just released a video this week that all LLCs have got to fill out this new form this year. And this form is required to, because with the IRS, I didn't watch the video. I just kind of looked at the quick little snippet under it. The IRS needs to know who is benefiting financially from this LLC. And so if we don't fill out this form, you risk a $500 fine. And of course, he put impossible jail time. Yes,
that's where you're going, Miss Tina, for shipping in bad boxes.
Yes, Amazon jail. So I am sure everybody's CPAs are already going to know about this and tell you. I did not watch the video, full disclosure. But if you don't use a CPA, make sure you're Googling this, maybe find that video. And so you fill out whatever this form is. Like I said, I didn't watch the video. I just think we should all be aware of it.
Right. And Tina just found this. Like, this is this morning information. So we try to be upfront. Here we go.
Actually, I found it 2 days ago. I just didn't watch it yet.
Okay. Well, Tina only informed me of it this morning.
I'm busy. I don't have time to watch it.
Then who should my company report beneficial ownership information? I don't know. You got the link to the video. I popped it in the comments. Here's a link to that, which was off of his. So something to follow. But you know what? If you use any of the major players, the TurboTax, what's the other ones? Liberty. What's the other?
Liberty,
the green
Liberty.
one. Yeah. What's the green one that's the tax place?
I have no idea. Are you talking about like the chain places?
Yeah. The chain places.
Oh my gosh, I haven't used those since I was just out of high school.
I know
what you mean. They're the one they're like in the Walmarts and yeah.
Yeah, HR Block. Thank you, Nate. HR Block. I really think HR Block and Liberty are kind of garbage, at least for us, because I've had them do my taxes and then I go to TurboTax and I'm like, they missed this and they missed this and they missed this because they just don't ask the right questions because we don't fall in the if you don't have a complicated life, they're perfect. They're great. They're easy. They're in the stores, whatever. But once you start adding an LLC and business and blah, 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 then you kind of go into the more complicated area of life. So I got to watch this video later because I have not watched it.
I figure it's not a priority now. Before we get our taxes done is when it's going to matter. I knew I had time, but I also wanted to make sure I informed everybody that watches us just in case you don't use CPAs. I guess we should all be aware of these things.
So to find your 1099, you're going to go to reports and you're going to go to the tax document library. And I see this question a lot. The Canadian report comes out and you get an email about the Canadian report. If you're not in Canada, don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's true. We are talking for US because I sometimes forget that people aren't watching just from the US. So I would hope that most would assume that when we talk about these things, tax related, we're talking for US. You know what? M&Ms, we might be able to. The thing is you have to have the paid version, right, of ChatGPT, because if you're using the free version, I don't even know if the paid version is current on laws and news, because ChatGPT's information is only up to, I believe it was 5 years ago. So it's not up on current tax laws or issue. If the paid version is, I am unaware. So I don't know how good ChatGPT will be for tax advisement on current laws, but I'm sure in a general sense, we could use it.
Boom. I love this.
It's fun. I use it every single day. I'm so good at ChatGPT. And the thing is, how I think I'm so good at it, I'm not. When I've watched some other YouTube videos, what other people do on it, I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that.
That's how I feel with Excel. I'm like, I'm really good in Excel. And then I'll sit down with somebody that's a professional accountant. And they're like, and I'm like,
you're like, I know nothing.
I know nothing. So this is awesome. They go through, what is that? Oh, just my neighbors. Operating expenses such as utilities, internet, office supplies, employee related such as wages, salary, taxes, travel and transportation, vehicle expenses, public transportation, business related, marketing and advertising, professional services such as accountants, consultants, and legal advisors, membership subscriptions. So if you've bought our Bolo group, that is a write-off. If you've bought our bundle group, that is a write-off. So you guys should buy. Depreciation.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. I have on depreciation, I know my lady does my car as a depreciation because my car is a work vehicle. I use it mostly for work. Interest and fees, home office, let's see here, mortgage interest, property taxes, utilities, home insurance may be deductible if you use your part regularly and exclusively for business, meals and entertainment, training and education, business insurance premiums, and charitable contributions. The charitable contributions is a hard one to do. So I always track that, but then it's like just weird. I have to track both my business contributions and my personal contributions. And then I'm not quite sure what she does with it, but anyhow, I love ChatGPT. That is awesome.
Me too.
Of course, you're basically getting a 30% discount. Yep. You get write-offs on that. Books too. So if you've bought a book on Amazon that's like how to run a business or anything like that, write that off. write it off. I go through
Write it
everything.
off, write it
Takes
off.
forever. Takes forever. All right. So what else? I'm kind of getting around the shipping time at my son's 18th. You're not. I love this. So Crystal says, I'm so busy I had ChatGPT write my son's 18th birthday letter. Am I a terrible mother? No. No. Oh my God. I'm going to soapbox here again. Listen, we are all busy people, and I am so tired of, we are bombarded with marketing, right? All the time. We got it on our phones. I got 3 screens of marketing. My stupid robots out there are always telling me crud I don't freaking need to know or want to know. You go to the grocery stores, you got marketing. And we need to kind of bring it back and really preach that whatever works for you works for you. And if that means, hitting the easy button on things and not doing everything, then that's perfect. I'm currently, like, personal wise, decluttering my house, and I'm following a couple of the ladies on the Minimal Mom I am following, and a couple of those ladies, and I absolutely love it and trying to get into that mentality, because we often feel as parents that we need to overdo it on the Christmas stuff and do the elf on the shelf and do the Christmas tree and go caroling and be part of the school pageant and all the things. And it's like, you can't. You just can't. And then we feel like failures, right? Same with business. I feel that way a lot without shopping. Last night I was outsourcing, and I'm like, I should scan this and I should scan that and I should do this and I should do that. And I need to work on my advertising and I need to reprice and I need to, you just got to do what you got to do. And
It's a lot to juggle. And Crystal, what I think of is with ChatGPT writing your son's letter. Look, when my son was 18, there wasn't ChatGPT. I might have done that. And look, I look at it like this. For my generation, we didn't have even computers when I was a teenager. We just didn't even have those things. How is that any different than when I used to go into the Hallmark store? I would spend hours in the Hallmark store, like reading those long cards, especially when, you had your high school boyfriend, who happens to be my husband now. But when we were in high school, I used to go to Hallmark and they'd have those really romantic cards that would like tell a story, and it had all this words. It wasn't like the simple cards with the simple sentence inside, but it was those really long ones, really detailed. And I would spend an hour reading every one of them because I was trying to find the card that was saying, how much I loved him in the words that, I wouldn't be able to do. And, and I would sign that card. It's really no different than buying those type of greeting cards, if you ask me. No, I don't think you're a terrible mom, because honestly, you plugged into ChatGPT the message you wanted to convey. So it was what you wanted to say. You just maybe aren't that good with those words. So no, I don't think you're a bad mom.
Well, and Tina and I, we are real people, and we have, just like you guys, we have pros and cons and ups and downs. I had a huge fight with my husband last night. It's nobody on the internet. If you're watching Instagram posts and Facebook things, all those people are real. And what you put out, we want to be helpful with you guys. And we're pulling like reports and stuff to do with taxes and everything. But at the end of the day, we're still tripping and falling and fighting with people and having goods and bad parts to our day, just like everybody else. So when you see that posted picture of the beautiful Christmas tree and the stockings hung and the perfect freaking life, you gotta think, like, zoom out. The house is a mess, really. You're not alone. My house is a disaster. My Christmas tree is not decorated yet. And now we took on my friend's dog, so we're not going to decorate it because we think he's going to pee on the tree. And I don't want him to pee on my decorations. So we'll see. We're going to give it a day or two before we do it. But like I said, there's just all sorts of things going on. So please, please, please bring it back to reality. And the reality is moments matter. Time with your family matters. Friends matter. Not any of this other stuff. Don't get caught up in
And Lucy and I will never be fake on here acting like our Amazon business is perfect. Our life is perfect, because everybody out on social media wants you to believe that about them. And I'm as real as they get. I will say I didn't fight with my husband this week, but I did fight on behalf of one of my clients. And I called Lucy afterward because I get so mad. And the reason why I want to say this is, There are so many new sellers that end up reaching out to Lucy and I, for coaching. And I had this gentleman, and he's not the first one. Have been many Amazon sellers, and it may be one of you watching, I don't know, that end up hiring these companies that you give them thousands, and I mean like $10,000 buy-in cost, okay, to be exact, for this guy. And they promise they're going to manage your account. They're going to fill it up with inventory. They're going to do all of these things. Let me tell you how upside down this guy is. His paycheck right now is maybe at $500, and he gives them $500 a month. Well, he hired me to look into his account. His account was filled up with garbage, absolute garbage. Now it is filled up with shoes and clothes that I know the company must have created the listing on Amazon. There is zero rank. There are other sellers on the listing, probably people that this own company is representing as well. Mm-hmm. Some of the listings have been on Amazon for quite some time and maybe have had 5 sales this whole year, and they put, say, 12 in his account, and another account has 36. And they are robbing these new to Amazon sellers who kind of want to be hands off and have a company manage their product. He had messages in his Amazon account for customers messaged him that had never been answered, that had been sitting in there for 3 months. 3 months. So what kind of account management are they doing? So I told him I would be willing, because he wanted to know if I would talk to this company for him, because he didn't know how to convey the things. So I ended up on a call with him and this company, asking this company the hard questions. Well, when I look at Keepa, and I'm just running the things off at them, and they're saying, oh, well, we have him on a repricer. Well, in his user permissions, there was no repricer connected to his account. They just lied and lied and lied. I mean, I was hot. I was so mad. Mm-hmm. Arguing with this man, that the man said, ma'am, you don't need to offend me. I said, I'm not offending you. I said, I don't even know you, but what I'm telling you is your company is robbing this man blind. I was so mad. Mm-hmm. And then the company they're using to fill up his inventory with, I figured it out the way that they did their SKU. And I'm not going to say this company's name out loud, but the man who owns that company, along with his wife, happens to be in federal prison right now. And so I told the man that too. I said, oh yes, I'm very familiar with that company, because the owner's in federal prison. I was going off. I was so mad. And let me tell you, I will fight for my clients with stuff like that, because I cannot stand people who are dishonest. People who are dishonest, and these companies that scam people who are giving them their hard-earned dollars. Not only did this man give this company $10,000, he continues to give them $500 a month to manage the account that they're filling up with garbage. It infuriates me.
I have told Tina a couple of times that it would be lovely if some days I really want to call out some of the scammers that I run across, some of the weirdos I run across, and some of these scam companies. But I've always wanted to run a channel that is not about just dishing out dirt and everything. So we typically don't share the names of any of these companies and whatnot, but feel free to ask in our Facebook groups if anybody has used them or has an opinion on them. If you privately ask us, what do you think about this company? We'll just say a yay or a nay, because there's a lot out there that we're seeing a recurring theme of, I bought this course, I bought this company's blah, blah, blah. I'm using this company for advertising. And we get in and we start diving in and we're like, wow, they're charging what for what?
It breaks my,
it is really, really bad.
I end up going, and I can't tell you how many people that I end up helping for free. Maybe I should still be charging them, because it breaks my heart. It hurts me. I look in their account and it's like right away I can see all the red flags, and they just don't know, and they're just blindly trusting people. And it, honest to God, breaks my heart. And I know that there is one member in our group, and I will never say their name, who came to us, who is now part of our group and our community, who started off with one of these companies and is still trying to get rid of inventory. And it truly breaks my heart. So just be careful out there, guys, when, as it is the end of the year and you do have some extra money maybe to invest or spend. I realize Amazon sometimes can get overwhelming, and we think, oh, we want to buy in on this big deal or these big lots. You really have got to do your research. And if you're not sure, always reach out and ask me and Lucy, because I will take a quick look and tell you this looks good or this looks bad, because I hate seeing people get scammed and burned. I really do.
I have seen a recurring theme, especially this last year on Fiverr, where people reach out to me and they're like, will you find me a profitable item? I had one person, will you find something that makes me $5,000 a month? Honey, if I could do that all day long, then I wouldn't be working for you. I'll just tell you that right now. That's a little crazy expectations that you want a $5,000 a month item off the bat. And the other problem though with that is a lot of Fiverr gigs are like promising the moon on inventory. We will research and find. Now, I've worked with several people who have hired these Fiverr people that they're like, oh yeah, this Fiverr person, they ran me this great report, all of the sales and the Jungle Scout and this and that and the other. And by the time they get the private label item ordered from Alibaba, listed in their account, that person has sold that idea to 50 other people. They've sold the exact same report. All they do is they switch it up. Personal report for Lucy, personal report for Tina, and it's the same item. And this poor lady, she did a bamboo, like a bamboo thingy that holds your tin foil and your cling wrap and everything.
Oh, they had this at Burlington yesterday when I was in there. I almost bought one.
Lovely report. Market is great. It's a hidden niche. It's a great opportunity. There's so many demand and not enough gurus selling it. And by the time she got it in stock, she's like, now there's 25 people competing for the same thing. Yeah, because they sold that idea to you and 25 other people for $50 a pop. And all they're doing is using VAs.
Yeah, I do want to say one of the reasons Lucy and I have not named them or called them out on our show, because we've discussed that if we should and like put warnings out there. We feel like that can, and this is where, you get torn, because I want to warn people. And at the same time, Lucy had brought up a good point. Then it's like, what if they start, targeting you? And it's not that me and Lucy have anything to hide, as far as that goes. But I feel like, what is those like religious cults that people get part of? What was Lisa Remini, the Scientology, how like the Scientologists will like, you'd never watched those documentaries. I mean, like they come out.
I don't remember them.
Yeah. And so it's just like, we just feel like we don't want to draw attention to ourselves by publicly calling out these companies, so that's where we've gone round and around. It's like, do we really want to invite that drama to our life just because we're trying to save people from, some of the scam companies that are out there? It just kind of like that fine line. What do you do? And that's why we say, if you reach out to us privately, hey, I was considering this company, we'll tell you if we know about it.
Yeah. And all of these things you have to take with a grain of salt, just like OA list. If somebody's going to research products for you or do an OA list for you or whatever the case may be, you've got to understand that understand their business model. Their business model is to do this research and sell this idea or sell this lead per se to X amount of people. And you don't know, unless if you know how they're researching that and then how they're doing the group and everything, then you're taking a gamble. And if you're going to do that, that's fine. But let's say they research X product, find out how they researched it and what the parameters are. So then you could go find something similar along your own lines that's not that, so that if that idea got sold 50 times, you have a competing idea that is not. Like our VA, we went from tactical arbitrage to source Mongol, right? Mogul. God, I do that every time. Source Mogul. And she does a lot of the lead searching by hand, meaning she'll find something and go down those rabbit holes to find them. And we find that provides better leads. Now, I don't know who, thank you.
Mogul, a music mogul, a movie mogul.
Anyhow, same with any of these other things. I have watched, there was one popular course on wholesale stuff and I had access to it. And I watched a bunch of the videos. I'm like, this is all like no-brainer for videos. There was nothing proprietary in there. There was nothing that I would pay more than $5 a year. In fact, I wouldn't even have paid that much. So a lot of these courses you can find the information for free out there on YouTube. They put it together nicely. They put it together in a nice format for you to go and look. And is the information okay? Sure. I bought a shoe sourcing video on like how to source shoes and sell shoes and everything. And there was nothing, I was mad that I spent my money on it at the end of the day. It was nothing great. I'm like, I could have taught this video. It's anyhow, but somebody who's just starting off and they're like, I want to sell tennis shoes. Sure, it might have been great for them. You got to just kind of look at everything.
One of the things I wanted to say this morning, Facebook, how it tells you, oh, it's your friendship versary with so-and-so, how Facebook gives you these notices. Facebook notified me this morning. It's our 1-year anniversary for our bundle group. And we have done over 100 videos this year in that group combined. Is that, yeah, I know you didn't see me post about that in bundles this morning. We've done over 100 videos in a year. I've not done that many videos on my YouTube channel. That just blew my mind. So I just wanted to tell you that this morning.
Which I wanted to go live yesterday. I couldn't. Maybe I will today. But if you're making listings, you'll know that the UPC box, it used to be drop down and you'd have UPC, G10, blah, 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 blah. They switched it. I don't know, because I make listings almost 3 times a week, and I had not
yeah, I also posted that I copy and pasted Amazon's release that news this week about that. And I copy and pasted it in the bundles group. So you'll have to check that. I did it early this morning when you were still asleep. So you have to check that out later. But I want to know who is still going out sourcing today. I know we're going to be logging off a little bit early today here. And so I wanted to tell you all, have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas. I know Hanukkah is done and Christmas is around the corner.
Wait. Hanukkah's done?
Isn't today the last day of Hanukkah?
Crud. I shipped out my Hanukkah gift like 4 days ago. I said I was late on the ball.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm finding your post announcements.
Oh, that's in bundles.
I know. I'm
in bundles. Yeah.
I'm looking at it. I think I can ship this. Yeah. Okay. Announcement, creating listings starting the 11th. What's the blurb of this? Okay. I will have to go read this later, but if you're in our bundles group, go read that post. Last night was the 8th night.
Okay. I can't remember it was tonight or last. I knew it was ending.
No, it's 8 nights, right? Is it 8 nights or 12 nights? Holy smokes.
Hanukkah's 8 nights. Right. And I couldn't remember last night or tonight. Thank you, M&Ms. Do you celebrate Hanukkah, M&M?
Last night was the 8th night. Okay. B16. I don't know what Nate 16 is about. I don't know. Sorry, Nate. I don't know what 16 is about. All right. What are you doing today?
I'm getting ready to go out the door right now to go shopping.
Oh, that's right. You need to get I gotta go ship, man. I gotta go put on a podcast or something. Well, happy Hanukkah.
Happy late Hanukkah. Although we said happy Hanukkah last week. So I hope it was wonderful at your house. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your day. We love you for joining us every week. We're always so happy you're here. We do appreciate you. And we will see you here live on YouTube next year in January. If you need anything from now till then, message us in Messenger, post in the Facebook group, because we will still be around there. And bye-bye till 2024, y'all.